Scott, we do have the statement of facts here, which just came out and was released by the DA's office moments ago. And this case is pretty much as advertised. We're seeing these 34 counts of falsifying business records in New York State. The essence of the case is laid out by the DA here. It's more than just Stormy Daniels, though. There's more to this case than just that. The DA here is saying that after the election, the defendant reimbursed lawyer A, that's Michael Cohen, for the illegal payment through a series of monthly checks from the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust, a trust that was created under the laws of New York, which held Trump Organization entity assets after the defendant was elected president. Each check was processed by the Trump Organization. Each check was disguised as a payment for legal services rendered in a given month of 2017. The payment records kept and maintained by the Trump Organization were false New York business records. In truth, there was no retainer agreement, and lawyer A was not being paid for legal services rendered in 2017. The defendant caused his entity's business records to be falsified to disguise his and others' criminal conduct. There's additional detail here in this statement of facts, which runs about 13 pages. Scott, I'll give you one of them, which is related to suppressing a story by a doorman about the former president of the United States. They're saying, the DA is saying here that in or about October or November of 2015, the AMI CEO, that is the media company CEO, learned that a former Trump Tower doorman was trying to sell information regarding a child that the defendant had allegedly fathered out of wedlock. At the AMI CEO's direction, AMI negotiated and signed an agreement to pay the doorman $30,000 to acquire exclusive rights to that story. AMI falsely characterized this payment in AMI's books and records, including its general ledger. So that is an allegation that has been floating around out there, reported a long time ago, now making its way into this statement of facts here by the DA. We're going to hear from him in just a couple of moments' time, so we'll get additional detail. And, of course, we'll go through the rest of this document and bring you any more information that's in the closing pages of it. Scott, back over to you.
Do we know, Eamon, when a trial would take place? And I can't even begin to imagine the process of trying to seat a jury in this case, just considering how polarizing the former president is.
Sure. I mean, there's almost nobody in this country who doesn't have an opinion about Donald Trump, right? And in Manhattan, Trump has made the case that he can't get a fair trial because it's a very liberal city. It's a very blue city in a blue state. He did float the idea on social media of maybe moving it to Staten Island, the Manhattan borough where he got the most support. It might be a more favorable venue for him. We don't have any idea what the timeline of this is going to be, Scott. It will be certainly months before we see any trial in this case. And I would imagine we're going to see a whole bunch of motions. We're going to get discovery here will be the next step. The defense side will get access to a whole lot of information that they didn't have access to, that the Manhattan DA has had in terms of what's in this case. And they'll be able to go through the evidence very carefully, and they'll be able to find additional evidence of their own. That will take a long period of time. I don't think we're going to see a trial. We'll see. Maybe we'll see that trial in 2023. Not betting on it.
Yeah, be interesting to follow. Eamon Javers, thanks so much for your coverage today. That's Eamon down in Washington, D.C.